Cardinals have finished their first 81. Before we get to the next 81, let's look at the standings. So in the NL West, the Dodgers running away with this division, 60-22, just running roughshod over the entire league. D-backs and Padres both having great seasons, but they're just in the wrong division, 10 and 13 and a half back, respectively. Cardinals topping the Central, 50-31. No other team with a winning record. Milwaukee in second, 39-43, 11 and a half back. They've struggled in the month of June greatly. In the NL East, Phillies lead the division, 56-24. Braves in second, 50-30, 6 back. But a huge drop off after. Mets and Marlins are both sitting at 24 games back. Looking at the wild card, huge difference here. Braves, D-backs, and Padres in a class of their own. No one else above 500. Milwaukee the closest. They're 7.5 back. A lot of work to do to catch one of those teams. In the American League, the Rangers leading the West. They have a 2-game lead over the Astros. But the surprise, Angels 40-39. Winners of 8 of their last 10. They're only 4.5 back. Let's see if they can stay in the race. In the Central, same as the National League, division leader, in this case Minnesota, 50 plus wins, no one else above 500. Royals in second, 14 back. In the AL East, we have a tie atop the division. Rays and Orioles, both with 50 wins, sitting at 50-31. Blue Jays 7 back. Yankees also above 500. They're 8.5 back in 4th place. And then looking at the wild card, a more interesting race. So obviously you have to take out the Rays or Orioles. So one of those, the Astros and Blue Jays, holding a spot. And then you have 5 teams within 6 games. So it should be a fun race down the stretch. And looking at the Cardinals, Steven Matz, give him a lot of grief in stream, but he has turned it around since he's been dropped to the pen. ERA of 3.35. Even in spot starts, he's been helpful. Got 4 wins on the season. Speaking of wins, Lance Lynn leading the way for the Cardinals, at least rotation-wise. 9 wins, sub-1 whip, ERA of 1.57. Kittredge out the pen, also with 9 wins, sub-1 whip as well. Helsley closing the door on the back end. He's got 5 blown saves, but he does have 30. ERA is 1.56. That whip teetering, but it is sub-1 for the moment. And then for the bats, Arenado leading the way in runs produced. He's driven in 48 on the season. Goldie kind of struggling. We'll get to him in a minute. 2nd place with 39 in terms of home runs. 6 players with double-digit home runs. Gorman pacing St. Louis with 16. Franchise Carp with 15. And Arenado with 14. Walker has been a welcome addition to the lineup. I've struggled with him in the past in Diamond Dynasty. He's hitting 232. His fielding sucks, but at the plate he's been solid. 11 home runs, driven in 32 in the bottom half of the order. Gorman, a welcome addition and one that's been much needed. You see, look at the power ratings, the boost, especially from the right side, almost maxed out. He's got 16 home runs on the season. Big reason why he leads the team in home runs. And he's still batting .244, slugging at .528. He's very helpful. Goldie, not as much. He's kind of turned it around since we put him on the trading block. The decline is tough, but as he approaches 2,000 hits, that average has been starting to creep up. He's now up to 221. He's been struggling to get above 190 for most of the season. And then Franchise Carp. Again, someone else who's struggling. Not power from the right side, but Carp hasn't been Carp in terms of production and getting on base, but home runs are still there. He's got 15. He's driven in 38, but a lot of strikeouts. 118 already. That's how things look in the first half of the season, both in the standings and in the Cardinal clubhouse. We'll see what the second half has in store for St. Louis. We'll be starting out at home against Cincinnati.